That's taking long enough. Hi, everybody. Whew, so, I was going to do this for a video last night, but it was absolutely pouring rain, so I did not get it filmed. But that's okay, because I think that reading some of the amazing comments I got under Wednesday's video yesterday. That was yesterday. No. Is it Friday? Good grief. I don't even know what day it is. It is Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. On Wednesday's video, some of the comments under that video are amazing. And we cracked through. We did. We got 1,000 views on that one. So, I'm back into my normal range with that one. Hooray. I did. I'm exhausted and encouraged, And I'm gonna save most of them for when, after a few people manage to get here. But hey, somebody, how you doing? But I do. I think this is going to be an extra fun live stream today. So we're just going to do, 11 when the video would have premiered to 1 o'clock. It's not unprecedented. I've done this before. I didn't get a chance to film it because it was pouring rain last night. And I think that reading these comments on live camera is going to be so much more fun anyway. Right? I do. I'm going to act them out for you. It's going to be fun. I have to get all my stuff moved over to my soggy little spot over here, you guys. It poured last night. Oh. And I was a little, running a little bit behind getting set up this morning because my tarp got ripped again. So I had to find a way to get it up high enough it wasn't on my head. It did me a whole lot of good there. So maybe we'll just leave the table for now. Oh, I forgot to put on live chat. So I'm reading something and I'm not seeing it because this thing is so dumb like that. Anyway. Excuse me. So yeah, happy Friday, everybody. So nice to be back over here. Is this thing dry? No. No. There is one little dry corner right here. Oh, and I don't even want to show you how I have that thing jerry rigged up there. I don't even want to show you because it's embarrassing. I'm just gonna have to go get it. I'm gonna have the weekend to deal with it, and I don't know how. I'm gonna have to go because what I need to do is take the stupid, like the beige frame, this right here. I need to take that down and go and get one of those pop-up things and put it under the eave, like I have been meaning to for 3 years. Because the first year I got one of those ones with the cantilevered legs, the slanted legs, because I thought, wind, bad. There's a lot of wind comes through this little alleyway. I don't know, this little hillside. I don't know. We get a lot of wind sometimes over here. So I thought that would be good, but then it didn't fit up against the house, and I got rained on anyway. So that sucked. And I have had so many umbrellas get blown away and broken over here, like it's ridiculous. So I bought this big thing, only to bring it home and discover that the top is not waterproof. So it's like a giant shade. I'm like, that's cute. What the? So I spent 3 days setting this thing up, only to, have to put something waterproof over the top of it. And I'm just going to have to take it down, I guess, and replace it with a thing that actually fits here and is waterproof. It's a 10 by 10 foot space. Excuse me. On the other hand, the plants are doing great because they get so much water. Of course, when I actually succeed in keeping it dry under here, then I have to remember to water the plants, which can be tricky. But, anyways, yeah. So what we're going to be doing today, after I give some people a chance to arrive, is we're going to be reading through some of the amazing comments that I got under that video on Wednesday. Like, I literally came on and said feminism is not about hating men, and the men, some of them just were so triggered by that, apparently. So yeah, some of them left me some amazing comments. And I was gonna put it in a video and have it premiere this morning, but like I say, it poured all night and I didn't get it filmed. And I just think that it's probably more fun to do that on camera anyway, right? So that's what we're gonna do here in a little bit. When, somebody lets me know they're here, once we get the chat going a little bit, and I know some people are here. Because, I mean, it's going to be fun, but I'll tell you, I don't necessarily want to read through all that stuff twice. Let's see if I get it pulled up, though. Tra-la-la. And, like, it's a lovely day. It's nice that it rains because, wow, was it humid yesterday evening. Oh, my goodness. Like, I'm starting to wish I could take my walk in the morning instead of the evening because by 8 o'clock, it was just absolutely a sauna out here. Right now, it's nice. The sun hasn't had all day to lift all that moisture back up off the ground and into the air. But that's basically what it does all day. Temperate rainforest. Yep. It rains in the evening and then soaks it back up off the ground all day and then rains the next evening. It's fun. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. We're not actually going to watch it, but which is where the comments are. And some of them are so choice. Oh boy. No. I paused. It went up the logically. There we go. Today we're going to be reading the comments underneath my Misandry Isn't Feminism video the other day. And like, I don't know. I had a feeling about that one. I had a feeling that was going to be an incendiary position. Like, of all the stuff I say, right? Like, of all the stuff I've said, apparently the idea that feminists don't hate men triggers some men terribly. And man, these comments are amazing. And I was gonna put them in a video and have it premiere this morning, but it rained all night. I didn't get it filmed, so are there any triggered women out of curiosity? No, not so much. There was somebody who came along to insist that misandry did not exist. Like, that was her whole statement. And I believe it was a she because of the handle and the little feminine symbol at the end of the comment. And, and I was genuinely confused. I did not see that angle coming, I must admit. And I just said, is that like how black people can't be racist? Am I out of the loop on that? Wouldn't be the first time I've used the word differently than other people use it. Wouldn't be the first. Oh, I imagine it's the whole bigotry equals prejudice plus power thing. Right. Like how black people can't be racist. Yeah, exactly. But I do not believe she's left me any clarification. I did ask that. Like, I did. I like the comments. I try and respond to them. Sometimes I feel caught unprepared. Like, sometimes people leave some amazing comments or heartbreaking ones, and I'm just And it might take me a couple of days to get back to it. I'm really, because I want to respond intelligently, you know. But we got 8 people here. Who's here, you guys? Check in with me, and I'll get started on the reading, because they are some of them are long too. Like one person, like literally ends in all caps, talking about destroying. It's. What if you're a homeless bigot? In regards to what? Can I just say that, I've believe it or not, I worked in long story short, in a McDonald's that was like the local homeless hangout at night when stuff started to close, and they would not let us, do anything about that. So I got to know some of those people, and like, they are some of the most misanthropic people I've ever met in my life. Like, I suppose they have their reasons. Apropos of nothing. I don't know. Why did you bring that up? Like, it just seems like a doom spiral, That's all. Racism power. Oh. Well, like I say, I think that that's an effort to try and take some personal control back in life, This is the less. I mean, by that, I don't know. There's some kind of. Because theoretically, and, well, not theoretically, I mean, yeah, is that the right word for that? We're like, apparently, scientists have discovered that the more adversity you undergo, the more empathy you have for the adversity of others, right? But I feel like there's a fall off point for that. I feel like after a certain point, your own adversity just overwhelms any empathy you might have for anybody, and you literally don't see anything else. Speaking of the opposite of homelessness, though, the court blockage is now resolved, so my purchase of the house in Belfast is coming through. Oh, congratulations! Should be sorted by like October. Congratulations! Oh, that's awesome. Oh my god, so jealous. So jealous. Want to share the news? Hell yeah. Oh, we're about to get our first ad. And then I'll go ahead and start reading stuff, because we're almost 15 minutes in, so we'll go ahead and let YouTube make a little money. And, theoretically, it's a nickel in my pocket, too. So thank you so much for sitting through whatever this is about to be. And then, yeah. No, I built this up, but it's worth it. Okay? Like, I don't know if y'all read through some of these. These are all publicly available. You can read along if you want to play along at home. Just pull up the video, and it's all right there. I didn't block or hide any of it because, I mean, it's not... Most of it is really broad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not targeted or abusive in that way, which is one of the things that makes it so damn funny. I was living in the Philippines during the pandemic, and I'll say it was a wonderful and wild experience. Wow. Where are you from? If you don't mind my asking. That's a bit of a difference. It's crazy. The number just fell from 8 to 5, and I wonder if those 3 people are the ones who are getting the 60-second ad right now. Boise, Idaho. Nice. I went through Idaho once. It's beautiful. Right? That's the one that's out besides Washington State. It's like skinny and gorgeous, and nobody ever talks about it for some reason. Not Iowa, right? I've never been to Iowa. But I did go through Idaho on a bus once, and I just looked around and I thought, fuck, why does anybody ever talk about this place? This is gorgeous, I had just called a dried up old hag by some incel. Tried to convince me that women abuse more than men do. Oh, good grief. The one shaped like a gun. Yeah, right. It is. That's true. But I mean, surely that's a coincidence, right? I don't know. As I say, I drove through it once and observed that it was beautiful, and that is the extent of my knowledge, and that no one ever talks about it. I've observed that as well. And that is like the extent, pretty much, of my knowledge about Idaho. Although I guess eastern Washington State is like this whole conservative like area. So like, and I don't know. I did see something about that, like eastern Washington State and Idaho trying to clump together to like and make their own red state. So I don't know about that. I don't know. It's pretty nice. Cool. Yeah, no. Tennessee is religious and conservative as hell too. I mean, not really. The younger generation is really not, which is very interesting. I pulled up the statistics. I said 95% of domestic violence is caused by men, and he said it was propaganda. Propaganda. What a tool. Yeah. I mean, on the one hand, there's lies, there's damned lies, and then there's statistics, right? You can kind of make statistics say anything you want them to say on the one hand. And then on the other hand, it's, I don't know. That's a pretty big number. There's just really only so many ways you can interpret that. I was in Japan for most of the pandemic. There were big masks. They were big on masks and the vaccine, but they did not use COVID tests, which is why their numbers are very different than the rest of the world. Oh my gosh. So confused. Like what? They just said, whatever, we're just going to prevent the spread of it and didn't bother to test for it. That's kind of strange. I told him he should probably look at prison populations and then think again. Oh, I'm sure that's some sort of, institutional bias on the part of the prison system, right? Or something like that. I'm sure, you could probably, twist that to be like, oh, certain kinds of crimes that men are more likely to commit, like, assault, are punished more severely than blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I've had some interesting arguments with some interesting people over the years. Yeah, same in Philippines. They just had the military do roadblocks with machine guns. Oh, nice. That's a way to handle a pandemic, I guess. On that note, why don't we go over here and see about some of these comments, shall we? Let's see. Can I sort by oldest? No. Well, we could do newest first and start at the bottom. Because I want to try and go through the order, Yeah, I want to say, it was Looney2869. She's commented on my stuff before and is in the chat sometimes. She goes, Miss Sandry does not exist. And we are 20 replies under that. And I said, I politely have to beg to differ. I didn't see this one coming. Is it like how people of color can't be racist? Am I out of the loop? Wouldn't be the first time. And then somebody else said, you unintentionally and unironically disproved your own statement. And this was all happening pretty quickly. So I don't know, it came through to me. And so I responded, I meant that as a question. And he said, I was talking to the commenter. You asked a perfectly reasonable question. And then he said, don't be silly, guys. Name one country where women beat men for having sex. Name one country where women remove men the right to vote. Name one. Yeah. No, institutionalized misandry does not exist. Yeah, maybe not. Like, that's not a bad thing. It certainly does. Just because you do not want it to does not mean it doesn't exist. Your feelings do not dictate reality. That's not how any of this works, unfortunately. And she responded, misandry doesn't exist. Stop being such an oversized baby. And then she said to the first guy, can you name one instance of an all-female terrorist regime that has committed acts of mass rape or murder towards boys and men whom they deem inferior? No, obviously not. Can you name one instance where a group of female terrorists abducted hundreds of little boys from their school? Okay. And I could expand that, but y'all can go read it all for yourself if you like. And it's just underneath the video. This is all on just comments underneath that video. And we're just getting started. The only baby here is you, he said to her. Or somebody said Brett. responded to Looney, the original poster, said, "The only baby here is you. Somebody willingly and stubbornly refusing to acknowledge that sexism is a two-way street." Which again, I suppose that's not what she's saying. I'm sort of. People of color? What the fuck is wrong with you? Don't go calling people colored. Oh, okay. Right. I'm not the one who goes around talking about BIPOCs. I've literally heard people talk about, like, I'm not even sure what that acronym means, but I know the POC stands for people of color. So don't even come at me about that shit. Don't even. I'm not the one who decided that there are two fucking social groups in the world, white people and people of color. I'm not the one who decided that. So don't come at me about that shit. I did not see that till just now. That is annoying. Like, really, was that supposed to type capital P, capital O, capital C, lowercase s, POCs? Would that have been better? I've seen that. I've seen that so much. Don't get me started. Mm-mm-mm. Because somehow it's less offensive to make it an acronym. What are you guys saying? What did you guys have to say about any of that? Ooh, ooh, ooh. It's supposed to be me that said I love it when men whimper and left. Testosterone is a crazy drug. I recommend if men get really angry at women, punching walls is not a crime. That's true, but you're more likely to break your hand. My ex and I were in a fight a long time ago when we were both, much closer to 20 than 40. And he chose that option. Unfortunately for him, we were living in an old building where the plaster was basically just on top of cinder blocks. And he broke his hand. And he was so afraid that the people at the ER were going to think that he had been hitting me. Which, when he thought to mention that to somebody, they went, "You can't do this on someone's face. You clearly hit something harder than any person." Like, not the same house that you both live in. I mean, yeah, right, yeah. I sometimes refer to myself as a pock of color for the giggles. Like a PIN number or an ATM machine. Like, I don't care that you're a stoner. Why don't you come over? Oh, Caleb. Oh, okay. Belle. I tell people I have weak melanin disorder. I clearly have some kind of melanin disorder. Look, it only comes out in spots. You guys are so much fun than more fun than these awful comments, but come on. This is like saying people can be racist to whites. It does not. Does it happen? It doesn't matter. It doesn't exist. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get back out of this one because the best ones are a little further up. Little Big Plans liked it. Is that the same person who was disagreeing with everybody so strongly about the misandry thing? Like, yeah, it is. That's okay. They weren't being rude because they left me a really nice comment up here about how, being a Christian who's very much against the left and also critical of the right, says they've bent too much to trans ideology, and I'm not sure what they mean by that. And I agree with most of your points, if not 99% of them. I think if feminism weren't given a bad look by radical feminism that says you must hate men, you mean extreme feminism. I hate that so much. That's not what radical feminism fucking says. So I'm going to take this moment to address that yet again. Radical feminism does not say you must hate men, you must work, you must not have kids. That's not what radical feminism says at all. That's what extreme feminism says. Those are extreme feminists. This is so annoying. And there's somebody else in here basically telling me that I ought to abandon the word feminism altogether because it just means man-hating. And you know what? Fuck that. How many words are we supposed to give up? How exactly is that not going to result in another broad case of generational amnesia because everybody says sees, if anybody sees if everyone looks at anything labeled feminism and ignores it, I don't think that's a great idea. Like, yeah, let's just hit the reset button again. No. People like Christians and conservatives who want to associate themselves more with people who have feminist labels would want. Okay. If it weren't tainted by extremists. Yeah. But you see, the extremists are the ones who've been given the platforms. And we have people out there like Gloria. I'm going to call her Julia. That was the other girl. Gloria fucking Steinem, who apparently has been doing her utmost for the last 70 years, give or take, to undermine women in the public sphere. Okay? So now, a lot of times what you see called feminism is in fact the opposite of that. Just like a lot of these liberating ideas end up being just another trap. First wave wasn't, but the following waves. Oh, wait. Okay. I hope we can all come together one day. Yep. Totally. I liked that comment. First wave wasn't, but with the following waves of feminism, it became misandric. Men are bears. Is there something good about men? Do we need men? All of these questions have been and are being asked over and over again. Like, I can't believe the whole man-bear thing is still going on. And I'm a 90s kid, so I want to know where the pig is at in this equation. Man, bear, pig. Like, where's the pig? I'm sorry. I'm tired, y'all. No, but I can't believe that whole discourse is still going on. There's not really. It's like kind of a sarcastic, kind of a facetious sort of I'd rather run into a random bear in the woods because I'm pretty sure he's not there to rape me. Haha. Right? That's literally it. It's supposed to be a comment about how you don't feel safe around random men. It's not so much that, they're missing the point entirely. It's satirical, right? And I can't believe it's still going on because it's pretty simplistic in that way. It's not complicated. And now guess what the answers are when you ask women. It's not just that feminism has slipped into a deep hatred of men. It's even the case that it can be displayed in public because hatred of men is widely accepted in society and nothing other than the feminist zeitgeist can be blamed for it. Okay, and if this is remotely true, then that is, I don't know, what should we call that? Zombie feminism? I've been told I'm a snow walker. I call my sunscreen super strength cracker protector. I have a feeling in the next 30 years, most of government will be run by women. It's just trends for college administrations. Yeah, right. Great. Can't wait to see that. The man bear thing really messed up my brother. Really. I can't wait to see a bunch of women with unanalyzed, internalized misogyny of decades who've been working in a masculine power structure for decades. I can't wait to see how they run things. I can't wait to see. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be skeptical. We certainly have had many successful female figureheads throughout history, so it's certainly possible. But I hear you. It's not a super literal thing. Yeah. What up, kitty cat? How you doing? We're reading through comments underneath that misandryism feminism video today because I went out saying women don't hate men, and there were some men who were seriously triggered by that, apparently. We're going to have to go fix that by and by. But let me get back over here for a minute and see what else I can say. The contrast is best seen when you look at the question of whether we need men and the answers women give to the question. The same question was asked of men but applied to women. The answers are quite interesting. Oh, that was it. Okay, that's the read more. Okay. Do some research and look at it. No. Again, I'm pretty sure that was meant to be satire, and a lot of men and quite a few women took that shit way too seriously. I've heard some people say that they prefer the man to take out the garbage because in the night is more dangerous. I'm like, okay. That goes back to what I was saying, how that is unfortunately up to negotiation between you and your partner. That's just the kind of thing y'all need to talk about and decide for yourselves. What it's taking out the garbage, masculine, sure. It's also heavy sometimes, like, but this is not a default role, okay? Julia was talking about working with your biology to follow default roles, which, like, they ain't none. Beyond childbirth, beyond the whole gestation thing, beyond the physical limitations of each individual, there just aren't any. A woman who lives by herself does not have difficulty taking out her own garbage, okay? I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that as a limitation to living by oneself, right? That's not a thing. So, on the other hand, a man who lives by himself can feed himself. He can make his own dinner. Men can cook. Hello? Is Emerald not a dude? What's the blonde guy's name? Like, most of the most famous chefs who ever lived were all men, so not buying it. That's bullshit. But that was coming from Lauren, who, as I say, at the time did not actually have. Those were her examples. And they're bad. As opposed to what Julia was saying was a much more interpersonal, dynamic-centered thing about how she was like a type A person who tends to be like a busybody, basically, and try to run things, like micromanage her partner, and she needed somebody who was going to push back against that in a healthy way, which makes a lot of fucking sense. But I'm sure there are many men who are that way. Okay? What she was saying did not actually back up Lauren's perspective. And this is what I was saying a few days ago about putting out half-baked videos, because I have so many more thoughts on that if I'd had a couple of days to write that script, would have been in the video. But c'est la vie, right? How are y'all doing? I was reading them too yesterday, right? Aren't they funny? This is going to be great. I myself braved the fierce night to take out the garbage, right? Yeah, I deserve a badge and a whole day named after me. Agreed. I've known men who actually can't cook or clean for themselves. Obviously, they're not physically incapable, but they never learn because women always did it for them, which is wrong and silly, and obviously they could take care of that themselves. And this is what I am saying. Y'all don't get to sit there and act like y'all the only ones who know how to run things, but then be like, I don't know how to put my socks in the hamper. I'm just a big baby. Oh my God, no. 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 That level of cognitive dissonance does not fly with me. Y'all don't get to claim civilization and then turn around and pretend to be stupid. No. Like, I don't know, with those men who can't, I don't know how they aren't embarrassed by it. Yeah. Well, they don't have to be, because that's the privilege. If you sign up for that macho role, then that's the privilege that comes along with it, is not having to worry about that shit. Looking down on that stuff as menial. It's like, I guess. The hell's wrong with something being mundane and humdrum and everyday? What's wrong with that stuff? I don't know. But the ones I've talked to weren't. They weren't all, that's women's work, I don't need to do it. They were all, yeah. Right. It's a crazy mentality. What's that called? Planned ignorance? Oh, weaponized incompetence. Yeah. Embarrassment is a social construct. It's not. Shame is not a social construct. It's not. Don't even. It's not. Shame is one of those feelings that comes along with being a social species. It's not a social construct. It's a social thing. But you know what? Tell me you've never felt ashamed in an empty room. Right? Cringe is a whole genre of media where we feel vicariously embarrassed for someone we don't even know. Come on. No. Anyway, back to the comments. I've heard some people say the garbage thing. Let's see what's under that. Then take it out during the day. Seriously, have they not thought about that? Oh, right, they aren't thinking. See, this is what I'm talking about. That's great. Who cares if something happens to him? He is the problem in every house. Oh, I missed that one too. Wow. This is, see, we don't want to be part of the problem, ladies. Come on. If you're insulting people you don't know is not activism. Come on. We can do better than that. Yeah, feminism is a hate movement against men. What makes you a feminist, I assume, is the dogmatic belief in patriarchy theory. And for something that's supposedly not about men, your entire theory is about becoming equal to a prejudiced and ignorant stereotype of men that never reflected the real issues men faced. It's very ignorant to call materialism to a political movement, including Marxism's, which never had anything to do with actual, materials, but deals with the sociological dimension of being. How accurate would you guys say that is? You deal with a very dogmatic worldview, not something theoretical, but something that has been debunked time and time again. What's that? That only women can make children? That's literally the basis of, many of my observations, because, that willfully ignoring that very, very basic fact is feminism shooting itself in the foot, okay? You're not observing facts any more than the Nazis observed facts, rather than you deal with prejudices, mostly your own. Like, I have my own biases, and I make no bones about them. You also make the arrogant mistake of going, the default roles is the person who makes a child and the person who does not. Nope. I assume they mean nope. You are ignoring the material reality where the men sacrifice their lives by the billions to protect the interests of the women. Yeah, but who started that? Was it other men? Gee, take it up with them. Not only in wars, but on risky endeavors, which is apparently some kind of feature of masculine psyche that, again, take it up with each other. Women are not the ones asking men to go jump off buildings and shit. Okay? There are a lot of things women, both as a class and as individuals, cannot provide, and you are only dealing with what men cannot do. What? You mean the making babies part? The continuing the species part? You say, what the fuck makes throwing the garbage out a masculine activity when you deal in an already colonized and secure environment? Ask any person in the ghetto. Oh, those poor women in the ghetto having to have their men take the garbage out because it's so scary and dangerous out there, and they just don't want to venture outside. Asshole, she just got home from work. Good grief. Let alone in a war-torn country. Okay, admittedly, that I don't have any personal experience with. I imagine they don't have a lot of organized garbage collection in war-torn countries. If going out for whatever reason is just as safe. I don't know. Also, what you blame on patriarchy is commonly more perpetuated by your hate movement. You know what? If modern mainstream so-called feminism, zombie feminism, I don't know. Y'all help me think of a better word for that. Is like against women, I would not argue that. I wouldn't. That's basically the conclusion I've come to, is that, yeah, what people have been calling feminism for decades is actually not helping us at all. But I feel like that's not because women don't actually need something like that. Feminism has gotten more men away from their family homes by, for example, advocating against their human rights, such as when feminism oppressed shared parenting in favor of the tender years doctrine. See, blaming patriarchy for a feminist happens when she's blaming patriarchy for a feminist happens when she's actually ignorant of the real causes, but is ready and willing to put all the responsibility of an issue on men. Well, that's not what I do at all. Since your ignorant theory puts all that power on them. No. You really? No, I don't think men have all the power. Good grief, I never believed that. And they sure want us to think they do. They sure want to believe they do. But that whole not being able to continue the species, not being able to produce their own offspring thing, is this real Achilles heel for some reason. What are you guys talking about? Let's see. Wow, this is giving inceldom. Oh yeah. We're just, again, this is just scratching the surface. Never had anything to do with actual materials. Wait, does he mean like physical building materials or something? I don't know. I don't think English is our first language in this example. I don't think feminism is entirely. Yeah, here come the incels. Yeah, I don't think feminism is entirely about equality. Women's rights is not men's rights. Yeah, feminism is about the rights of women, and that should not be an incendiary statement. That should not be an outlandish statement. That should not be a revolutionary statement. And the fact that that feels like a revolutionary statement makes me so sad. Ghetto, for fuck's sake. Yeah, right? Feminism isn't about equality. It's about liberation. Yeah, it's about the rights of women. We have our own thing. Ooh, it's not about you, boys. Deal with it. See, you can blame patriarchy when your hate movement is taking away the rights of fathers left and right. When your hate movement embraces liberal right, because oh my god, I'm not even touching that. But just for the record, my personal experience was actually the other way around altogether. Like, this judge did not want to give us, and it had nothing to do with anything with my husband at all. This judge was well known for favoring mothers, and she tried to give custody to this woman despite the fact that she was living with a guy who was a convicted meth dealer. So your mileage may vary on that one, I guess is all I'm saying. When your hate movement embraces liberal principles for women's reproduction, but conservative ones for males. In my opinion, people's reproduction is their business, even when you are kicking out fathers out of their homes. Ignorantly labeling as disposable, you still blame them. Yeah, no, and that's actually one of my favorite, tells of some bullshit philosophy of any kind, usually political, where your enemies are both everywhere and must be countered at all costs, and pathetic weirdos at the same time. Like Jews in the Holocaust. They are both subhuman and somehow run the world. What is that? That's nonsense. And so obviously that's not what my feminism is about. Indeed, feminism is not the totality of misandry, but feminism is indeed a misandric movement. I'm pretty sure misandrist would be the right suffix there, just to be pedantic for a moment. Just like white supremacists are not the only racists either. Yeah, but you mean they are not only racist? I don't know. Want a material reality that your movement ignores? How about the systemic criminalization of the entire continent that your hate movement started with the war on drugs? Right. You're going to blame feminism for the war on drugs? My man, Nixon admitted it. Richard. Milhouse? Nixon? Is that right? No. That can't be right. The fuck is that motherfucker's middle name? Oh my God, it is Richard Milhouse Nixon. Well, if you're anything like me, that's a fun one. Okay. Is the one who started the war on drugs. He said so. On tape, he admitted it. Okay, so y'all, you trying to sit there and tell me that Nixon is the figurehead of the feminist movement now? Okay. Maybe in that he was supposed to be in charge of the CIA back in the day. I don't know. What are you guys up to? That was crazy. I think Madandry is hot. What is that? I think I might have been the only person who commented on this video talking about the differences in Karl Marx's source material. Thank you! And thank you for that, by the way. Like I say, I haven't... I am sort of piecing things together. I am in my desperation to, and I'm clinging on by my fingernails here. I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to deny it. So thank you for your thoughtful comment. Because, yeah, most of it was garbage. Not yours, but most of them are just trash. I've always tended to hyper-focus on the things that no one does. That's great. That's great. Me too. That's why I have this damn channel, okay? I love the different perspectives, and I love that, someone who is criticizing me in a helpful way, constructive criticism, is somebody who knows what the fuck they're talking about. Mwah. Thank you. Thank you. Milhouse is an awful name. That guy was destined to take it out on the world. Right. You think Miss Andrea is hot? Are you a lesbian? I mean... your kink is your own. It's not feminism, though. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's literally all I'm saying. I'm not saying Miss Andrea shouldn't exist. I'm not saying it's not justified. I'm just saying it isn't feminist activism. That's what I'm saying. Okay. So, sexism and racism is feminism. You mean like sexism plus racism? I presume. I don't know. As feminism literally started when black men that went to war got the right to vote before white females that didn't go to war. And the racist, sexist white females got offended that it didn't get privileged without contributing. Right, because women contribute nothing to society, especially white women. Especially privileged women, because, God forbid a privileged white woman try to contribute anything in society and use her privilege for any cause. She'll get laughed out of the room. I don't know. That one wasn't as funny. Suffice it to say, that's not my understanding of things at all. Well, there's one thing she said correctly. Modern feminism has betrayed us. Yeah. Not in a way she described, but it did. Unfortunately, I think that misandry is a perfectly rational response. Men kill and rape us. How am I supposed to love them? And that's the kind of thing where I'm saying, like, this comment, I haven't responded to it yet because, ouch. I feel that. What do you say? And this is exact because it cuts to the very, very core of what I'm working on. So I don't have a ready-made, easy to, what I'm like, that person needs a big fucking hug and like the therapeutic protocol that I keep talking about that I do not know how to create. So, but on the other hand, it's not super helpful or kind to come on and be like, yeah, you're exactly the kind of person who needs therapy. Like I've been talking about, like that's no. So that one hit me like a punch to the gut. I can't lie. And girl, if you ever watch this, I'm so sorry. I completely understand. It's a very individualistic and long and painful process to work through all of that rage and that hurt. And it's real. And I recognize you. I see you. And I'm so sorry. Having the draft for both sexes would definitely help equality. Oh my God. Can we just have the draft for nobody? I'm anti-war, in case anybody weren't clear on that. I feel like that's the feminist stance, is to be anti-fucking war. And I don't care. I mean, I do care, obviously, about what's going on in some of those ridiculously misogynist countries, outside the West. But, like, I don't think bombing them is the answer. I just don't. I don't. Don't worry, a lot of people haven't read Das Kapital. Even a lot of supposed Marxists. It's 3 volumes, all around 700 pages each volume. So, if you don't mind my asking, why did you take it upon yourself to climb that mountain? I presume you've read it. Why? You know? Yes, I don't want anyone to join the damn imperialist military. Right, yeah, no, I'm anti-military and anti-war, and how's that not the obvious feminist position? Because what does war do? It's catastrophic for women's lives too. Obviously, I agree that the USA is not normal when it comes to unnecessary wars. No, not normal. No. No, we really just appear to have inherited the mantle of the British Empire, which is like bizarre. Because I could have sworn we fought a whole war to like not be British anymore. But we act just like they did. Just like that. I mean, while Britain's over there, kind of shriveling up back into its, natural form. So I don't. It's really strange. Was that whole Revolutionary War thing just like for show? Was that actually more like a transferring, like a coronation? Like, what was that? I don't know. Maybe World War II was the coronation. I don't know. It's very strange. Taking over the imperial mantle was on purpose. Like, okay. By on the part of whom would you say? Not to say that I don't think like the Freemasons or whoever wouldn't have loved to get their hands on that shit, but it's like you don't, as a rich white man, you don't join a secret society because you're not interested in becoming more powerful. I'm pretty sure that's why you do that, right? Because you're like, I have all the material power in the world. I wonder if I can get me some mystical power. That sounds good. Like, it's gonna rain again? Are you serious? We're gonna have to move. Fuck. I'm not even gonna bother to hit this. We gotta move. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Come on. I'll take you guys first, and then I'll come back for the bag. Oh my gosh. Oh. Stare down my front. Excuse you. Oh yeah, it's gonna rain. Okay. Hang on just a minute. I'll be right back. And we'll get to see how well that holds over there. Some more water pounding down on it. That sounds just not the best. Okay. Wish I could sit with the bushes behind me, but there. That's at least a little more interesting than just staring at the plate glass window, right? Except I think y'all are in danger of getting grouped on over there. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. What are you guys saying? What are you guys saying? Even Britain handed it over willingly. I technically joined a secret society at Oxford. Nice! Unfortunately, I didn't get any more, magical or otherwise, from it. Oh, bummer. Do you mind saying which one you joined? That's awesome. I mean, I can't imagine going to Oxford of all places and not joining a secret society. I mean, you got it, right? Come on. I'm a bi-feminist due to my anti-capitalist beliefs. I'm anti-capitalist due to learning about the history of war and coups of the West. If I want to know how the world is run, I have to learn about it, not by assumption, but by actually going through the material, like political theory. Yeah. Okay. So I just woke up to that feminism wasn't a joke a couple years ago, says CTKD. And I don't really get it. Looking for moms to talk with about it. Would you be interested in a discussion? Heck yeah. That sounds right up my alley. I have like a whole library of nonfiction books in my basement. Nice. That you've actually read, though. We're about to get another ad, but they're not so bad today. I hit the conservative button again, so they're not so bad today. It was the Spoken Latin Society. We literally just played board games while chatting in Latin. You'd think we ran the world, but unfortunately not. That's okay. I'm pretty sure, like, Mensa, the group that my parents met at a meeting of, started life as a secret society in the UK. I'm pretty sure. Mensa is Latin for table, I believe. Because they were going to assemble all of the most intelligent people in the world around one table and solve all the world's problems. Needless to say, that's not how that went at all. My understanding is that's yes, CTKD, you have come to the right place. Yes. Thank you, kitty cat. I try to do material world centric feminism, which does involve. I have 4 kids. I gave birth to 2 of them, so I'm a mom and a stepmom, and I try to discuss, a lot of the stuff that comes along from that, from a feminist perspective, because goodness knows, I think women in my position need feminism possibly the most. I don't know, but boy howdy, is there not a lot of resources for that. Feminism has almost nothing to offer you if you want kids. It's ridiculous. Oh yeah, I hear the Freemasons is similar. Like they just go hiking together or something, which sounds cute to be honest. Yeah. And I was saying this a couple of days ago, how like in the 18th century, the Hellfire Club and like all those great amazing secret societies that you'll hear about, from occultists and how amazing they were and like all these crazy stories and like they basically just got together and drank a whole lot of alcohol and tried to summon demons and whatever. Like, sounds fun. Sounds like a party. Sounds like a Halloween party I've been to. But, like, come on. That's only edgy and worth hiding if it's the 18th century. Right? Like, that's, like I say, it sounds like Halloween parties I've been to. There's a club for average people called Densa. I did not join Mensa. I'm not like somebody being a Mensa really does not impress me, but makes me go, oh, okay. So a liberal sex pest with an engineering degree. Gotcha. Okay. Like that's literally my I did not want to become one. They love, they're the sort of people who will ask you an impossible riddle and then smirk at you while you try and solve it. It's ridiculous. They did not fill me with the urge to join their group growing up. Yes, I read them all, says Kitty Cat. Hence why I annoyingly recommended books to you. No, I love it. I just never have done. I don't know when I'm going to have time to read anything. Because she'll talk about a specific issue, which I have the perfect book for that. Goes and yeah. The feminists I've come across hate kids, which everyone started life as a child. Hating kids is a form of misanthropy. Just hating people. You hate an entire subcategory of human beings. That's not even a race. That's something you used to be. It doesn't make sense to me. Now, if you don't enjoy the company of children, fine, fair enough. Don't have any. Don't associate with them. I just pretty much said I don't enjoy the company of Mensons, and I tend not to associate with them. Like, that's fair enough, I guess. That's your business. But yeah, I don't understand people say they hate kids. Like, everyone started life with a kid, including you. But you hate yourself? I don't understand. I think for men, reading female authors has that right from a female perspective puts you in a place where you can better imagine what it's like. It's not just empathy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Have you read Caliban and the Witch yet? No. I know. Oh, my God. Like, it's breaking my heart because I'm going to have to, well, maybe it's tapering off, but excuse me. I might get my writing for this week done today. Friday is supposed to be, okay, I'm going to skip this ad. That's like 2 and 5 minutes. That's getting on my nerves. But Friday is today's supposed to be writing day. And I am really going to try and get that done. You know, at least crack it. Right. Hating kids is not a feminist thing. It's an individual personal preference thing. Right. 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 Um, and I don't know what kind of activism that is other than antinatalism, right? How exactly you make that into any kind of a movement? I mean, I was just saying how mothers make this, some of the strongest feminists because you can raise your children that way. And we should thank you, geek girl. Oh my gosh, thank you. I am gonna go ahead and skip that ad that it just tried to give me another one again. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Every little bit counts. Thank you so much. I'm just bugging you. I understand people are busy with life. It's hard to find time to read huge texts of political theory. No, I know. On the other hand, I really hope that my body goes before my mind because that's my plan for like old age is to sit around and finally read all this shit. But yeah, the downpour seems to have stopped for now. So and I'm the book I'm writing is, all first person female protagonists the whole way through. So any guy who reads that is gonna get all of that. So that's cool. Right? That's built in. There's a lot of stuff built into the book. Just the very fabric of it that are, have their roots in my philosophy. And so, I was thinking I might have to put it on the back burner though to be making all these videos. Can I email you for a chat? I have a small channel where I've been trying to host discussions with moms. Sure. Yeah. Sure. Is email. Yeah. That's my blog too. If you've ever run across that, that's me. The Brazen She blog. That's me. Okay, I read romance novels to understand women's perspectives. Don't kill me for it. I mean, if it's written by a woman, I'd say fair enough. I wouldn't want that to be your only source, obviously. But, and mine is not a romance novel. There is a romance in it, or two, but okay, cool. I still expect you to see the period poem because it's only 7 minutes long, though. Okay, all right. I was literally thinking about this morning. How eventually you're going to get angry with me and stop pestering me about those things. Oh, but please don't. The period poem is only a few. Okay. I mean, I could pull it up now. We haven't even got to the good comments, though, and it's already past noon. Like, one thing at a time. I try to keep myself to that. One thing at a time. Because otherwise, no, don't reload the page. Why did you do that to me? Now I have to go find my place again. No. No. Shh. I have to reload everything. I'm so sorry, everybody. It's so annoying. Okay. Honestly, I don't even know if we can consider feminism to be feminism anymore. No, like I've said, I think a lot of things that people, that get called feminism are not, in fact, because they actually work against women's needs. Got told I was a white male and therefore privileged by a few feminists, brought up the racism and sexism I have encountered, got told to man up or to just understand that I should expect it because of who I am to others. Got judged by women who hate men and say all men are sexualized, violent animals, basically. Wow! There's a whole lot more to that. For it to be female materialism, haven't heard of that, but it would make sense. Sad part is I'm pagan. I pay tribute to gods and goddesses. Someone chose to insult my partner by talking down about her because she was with me. When I brought it up to her friend, her friend didn't apologize and played it off by saying it was meant to insult you only. I'm sorry, but when you say that, I can't handle being around a strong, independent woman in the same room and my partner and a few other women are in the room, and you mean to insult the women as well. In the room, you mean to insult the women as well. Same person told my partner it's not cheating if you kiss the same sex, despite cheating being, cheating. Honestly, I don't think I have encountered a feminist if we're only going by the definition you shared in the video. Yeah. I'm trying to take it back, I guess you could say. Oh, and the main reason why this lass hates me, apparently, is because she used my social security number to check onto me and didn't find closeted documents. And didn't find closed documents, so goes, oh, you're lying about this. Meanwhile, closed files, you can't just see them by using someone's social security number. When I told her she didn't have my permission to use said personal info, she said, well, this is rambling into some awfully personal territory. I think it would be refreshing to find an actual feminist, see how they think, and if they could share a perspective I haven't encountered before, but glad you're calling out the toxic behavior for what it is. Many people hate Marx and don't know what he wrote or said or did. Yeah. Feminism is about oppression over men. And one person liked that. It was not me. I used to just kind of go through and like all the comments because engagement, yay! But that started confusing people. It's like, well, you liked that comment. Do you agree with it? No, that's not what I meant. Then my perspective sure isn't supported by any romance novel, right? Yeah. It's not my only source, but it sure shows a side of women that is not talked about. True. Now? No. What? Okay, where are so many romance novels involve werewolves? I don't read romance novels. You're asking the wrong person. I don't know. I don't find myself preoccupied with fantasies of an ideal love. So I don't know. Feminists do tend to tell men to man up all the time. He thinks he's lying a tad. Well, one could interpret it as what I've said several times just in this stream already, which is, take it up with yourselves, boys. Take it up with other men. A lot of your problems are other men. Don't ask this, women. I think romance is the cringiest brain rot out there. Right, yeah. So I don't consider neo-feminism to be feminism. Neo-feminism. I like that. Like neoliberalism and about as useful. Or at least the type of feminism the trans women claim to be part of. Yeah, right. Feminism for all women. Like, oh my God. That should be redundant. Feminism for all women should be a redundant phrase. I've only heard man up from men that still act like children. Ha! Nice. I've told plenty of men to man up. So, are you saying you're a man who acts like a child, or are you just saying you flipped it back on them? Let's see. Very accurate name. Very rad indeed. And I'm not sure, I think that's a compliment, right? That's just a straightforward compliment, right? Like, it's so difficult. You can't hear people's tone of voice, Exactly. This one's fun. Neo Glacius says, exactly. Germanism is not about colorism. They just wanted special rights for 1933 Germans. What? I presume they mean to say German nationalism is not about race? I believe is what that means. They just wanted special rights for German nationals. What that has to do with anything? I am not entirely clear on. Can we just reverse gender roles entirely? Come on, Caleb. That's just going to make women into what we supposedly hate. So, no. No. That's not what I espouse at all. Defenestrator 4660, which is a great name. One who throws things out a window. What a great word that is. Feminism is a social movement that promotes women's interests at its best. At its worst, it's a hate cult. I think you can say that about any school of thought, right? Come on. The one thing it has made clear is that it has nothing to do with equality, no matter how hard its practitioners try to rationalize themselves into a position of moral superiority. And again, I did not get around to responding to this one yet either, because what? Is that aimed at me? As in, and I only presume that because it's my video. It's written in this general way. No matter how hard its practitioners try to rationalize themselves into a position of moral superiority, feminism has made it clear that it has nothing to do with equality. And way to back up your point there. Way to give any kind of supporting. Because obviously I don't feel that, I'm sorry, equality within us, that's the difference between liberal feminism and radical feminism. Radical feminism is not so worried about equality in the patriarchal system. Because what would that even mean? I'm a right-leaning normie and I agree with you. Right on. See, and the more I think about it, the less I'm inclined to be overtly partisan at all. Because I don't think this is a partisan issue. At all. Just came across your channel. We live in a moment in which expressing any heterodox views carrying risk, and I like to see people willing to do it. Thank you. I want to comment on one thing you said. In the clip you played, a woman refers to some aspects of conventional, traditional, expected male-female behavior as default. And you took exception, saying that the only default in a marriage is that one partner gives birth and the other does not. I'd argue that you're misusing the word default, conflating it with essential. Yes, an essential difference. I'd say the essential difference between men and women is that only women can give birth, but default doesn't imply essential. Rather, it suggests something typical or normative, a path likely to be taken in many or most cases, absent some less common choice or event. I think there's quite a few examples of default behavioral differences between men and women that are neither absolute nor essential, but that are so common as to invite a conversation about the degree to which they are socially constructed versus biologically derived. And that's the conversation that no one is willing to have right now. That's the conversation nobody wants to fucking have. We see such not conservative, not liberal, nobody. Nobody wants to have that conversation. We see such default, that is typical but not immutable or invariant, it says, behavior among other species of mammals as well. Situations in which it's perhaps easier to rule out cultural, whatever that means for a flock of sheep, for example, influences. Best wishes, H. And I meant what I said, and I'm left with this oversimplification because the overwhelming popular belief is that this is where it ends, and we ought to consider doing away with that as well. I suppose to call something a default does imply another setting, which I don't mean to do. I want to say I was using the verbiage given in the clip. My bad. And he goes, I appreciate the response. Thank you. And there certainly are some who see something akin to immutable biologically determined roles for men and women, and who even consider it some kind of moral failing to deviate from those. My impression is that those people are pretty rare. On the other side, there are those who seem to believe that there are no differences between men and women. And that might inform our sense. There are no differences between men and women that might inform our sense of what is likely to lead the respective sexes to greater satisfaction in life, love, and marriage. Those people are probably pretty rare too. I feel like those two are the loudest points of view, though, right? It's all or nothing in a battle for all eternity because they're both wrong. Just gobbling up all the resources. I'm pretty sure the reality is somewhere in the middle, as is so often the case, with most men and most women finding the most satisfaction by embracing some degree of traditional sexual roles, those traditions having evolved quite often for practical reasons that reflect underlying biological reality. And that's exactly my point. And I wish there was more serious study of these patterns. Maybe we could lay some of these arguments to rest. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah. Maybe someday. What are you guys up to? I used to read mom's trash novels, all boilerplate. How's about we just abolish gender, i.e., social roles for society? Yeah, yeah. I mean, because apparently the idea that they're like guidelines does not occur to people. That they're loose guidelines that your mileage may vary, and you have to pick and you have to actually think about what you want to do with your life. Ah, I know. Wild, crazy shit. Based on sex. Right, yeah. I'm cool with that. Hey, don't laugh. Autocorrect is a thing that happens. No, yeah. Um, I think assuming that we're all the same is people that enjoy lying to themselves. Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of people, soothe their own anxiety by lying to themselves. I think that's very common. What? Rare. Those ideas of innate gender roles dominate the discourse. Thank you, right? Saying there is no difference between men and women sounds very anti-feminist to me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That has what has basically amounted to feminist discourse for fucking decades. Nuh-uh, nuh-uh. We're as good as you. We're as good as you. Holy shit, you guys. Yeah, we are. Please calm down. Please calm down. Oh my goodness, the insecurity. It's so annoying. Where is the man you love? Oh, and this one has a response now. It didn't earlier. I can't wait to see what it is. Hidden under the floorboards, says 4 in 100. Who 4 in 100, I believe, is somebody who left a couple of very interesting comments elsewhere that we will get to in a minute. Oh my God. Y'all know he's literally in the videos, like on the almost weekly basis, like this in the background. Like he's at work right now. Like, hidden under the floorboards. The Where is the Man You Love got 3 likes. Did Hidden Under the Floorboards get any? Hidden Under the Floorboards has 4 likes, you guys. Okay. We're getting to the good stuff now. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh yeah. Tsunamio7750 left me an amazing comment. We need not hear about what feminists think. We look at the end result. Feminism destroyed everything. It doesn't even benefit women. It sucks. It doesn't benefit women and it does suck. It didn't destroy everything, dude. You're literally typing on the internet. Like, what? What are you talking about? We men will no longer accept any reasonable solution for the horrors you have unleashed on us. The injustice, the abuses. You wanted to judge people as groups, as collectives. You will now be judged as such. If you are a feminist, you will pay for your crimes against mankind, against motherhood, fertility, and beauty. Yes, I'm sure my 2 sons constitute a crime against mankind, motherhood, and fertility. Whatever. You will pay 10 times the price. You are living in a world where good working men are punished for being good and working. Yes, but not by me. Or anyone I would probably agree with to any large extent. What? Protection. Oh my God. Where drug dealers and cheaters have sex all day while the smartest of us die virgins. Wow. Okay. Um, Again, have you ever been to a Mensa meeting? This has not been my experience at all. If you're a genius and a virgin, go join Mensa. In my experience, that should cure you of that disease pretty quickly, actually. There are women there. Anyway, my mom literally used to use it like a dating service, okay? Um, Women give all their love to the worst of mankind because you are in power now, and your instincts are unfit for this reality. Oh, okay. Please. You think about nothing else but yourself. Yeah, that's right. The ones who are in charge of raising up the next generation are just genetically programmed to be selfish. What the fuck is wrong with these people? You hurt your fellow women when it benefits you and show no empathy for men. You are monsters because you reward monsters. My gosh. We, men, will become what you asked us to become. In a world where only he sounds like Jareth at the end of Labyrinth, for fuck's sake. Talk about how he set all that up, because she wanted him to be scary. In a world where only those who destroy are rewarded, we will learn to destroy. Right, yeah, because that's something men need to learn. What? We will destroy everything. Vengeance and hatred will run rampant. Well, congratulations. We seem to already be there. We have nothing to gain from your putrid society. As in, you don't want to hang out with women? Or as in society in general was created by women? Like, that's absurd. We are no longer slaves. You will lost control. This is all caps. We will revolt and destroy. This is because I had the audacity to claim, like, mind you, there's no way this person actually watched the video. I don't think there's any way this person actually watched the video. But, like, this is what I get for saying feminists don't hate men. That they will revolt and destroy. Okay. Goddamn. Lol, calm down and take a breather. Right? Under the floorboards. Legit. No. Y'all see him, like, fairly commonly. He has a way of butting in, you know. My flatmates say stuff like feminism ruins society. It's so annoying, right? Coming in like a tsunami. Found the 4chan incel. Yeah, right? This guy sounds interesting in a train wreck sort of way. Yeah. I'm glad he's not near me at all. Damn, how did you get a bunch of incels watching your video? I don't know. Make down to the max. Yeah, right. Sounds like Klingons. He does. Sounds like he's auditioning for a metal band. Right? Yeah. I mean, I am giving it the theatrical treatment it deserves. Okay. To be fair. This one's good too. Feminism is about misandry. It has never been about equality. And Lauren Southern regrets the red pill because she is no longer profiting off her grift. My dude, she retired from social media. How are you supposed to profit off a grift you're not doing? She retired to go be a housewife in, like, rural Australia, for fuck's sake. How exactly is that a grift? Because she married a man who had money, I presume. I did not look into who he is because he's an asshole and I don't really care about him. So I suddenly realized I don't actually even know who Lauren Southern's ex-husband is, but he sounds like a fun guy, you know? And I have no reason to doubt anything that she's ever said about him, so, you know, fuck that guy. But, like, how exactly is marrying a guy, retiring, you know, giving up your own career to go be off the grid, essentially, a grift? What is that? You know that he's yelling this out loud in his mom's basement too, right? Oh no, it's not the dreaded misandry. Right? The red pill, blue pill thing was started by the Matrix, written by two trans they. Yeah, right. There's actually, I think it was under this video. Somebody recently asked me what I thought about the Wachowskis, and I was just like, but, like, the two words they used, it was like Lawrence and Larry. And I'm like, I thought they became trans women. I'm so confused because I think those two are just, like, so overrated. That movie is overrated. Okay, there, I said it. And by this, it was overrated 25 years ago. Forget now. This whole cultural lexicon thing, metaphorical phenomenon thing going on, that there are various philosophies that are rooted in that as a metaphor. Forget now. It's so overblown now. That shit is so overrated. Like, the metaphor is not that good, you guys. Good grief. The Matrix wasn't even that inventive. Yes, thank you. Right, yeah. To the point where, like, the idea of using human bodies as batteries being ridiculous didn't even occur to me until I saw that somewhere and went like, oh yeah, that doesn't make any sense because the whole concept is so shallow. And everybody took it so damn. This came out when I was in high school, okay? So this is an old grudge. Everybody took that shit so seriously, you know? And people started showing up to school dressed as Neo with the long black trench coat and whatever, which then became a thing after Columbine happened. All of a sudden, you know, the big black trench coat became like a symbol of terrorism. And, like, I wonder if some of this doesn't have its germination somewhere right around there where that connection was made, right? Oh. And we're about to get another ad. All right. Actually, I need to go get a cup of coffee. Are you guys cool if I go in and pour a cup of coffee real quick? Because my throat is killing me. These aren't helping, but this will. So I'm going to go pour a cup of coffee and I will be right back. And we will read some more of this fun stuff. Because we've only got about half an hour left. Because I got to get off about 1 o'clock because I got to save my voice. Oh, my throat hurts. I can't. I'm not even kidding. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get a cup of coffee. Be right back. And your bowl. Okay. So, nice background noise. It was because everyone thought the trench coat was covering up guns. No, I know. I was there, but like, none of the people I knew who wore those long black trench coats were doing it because they were terrorists or because they were, like that at all. They were doing it because they thought Neo was cool. All right. Period poem. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Where's my notebook? And I know I've said that before. Oh my gosh. Who knows? Maybe it'll make a good video, right? Like, not even joking. Now I know it's only 7 minutes long. I feel really silly for not having done it already. I thought it was going to be, more of an investment than that. Uh, can I be honest though? Like, I have this thing in my life where I have had people, various people, several of them very, very close to me, do this thing where like I have to sort of earn affection by justifying how I spend my time. Oh, how was your day? Is actually, how productive were you today? And then you're going to be judged, you know. You truly love it, and you want to spread joy. I get that. I get that. I get that. Thank you for your persistence. Truly, 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 truly. It's not annoying, and I hope that you don't feel that it is. I hope you don't think you're annoying me at all. But yeah, so as far as the trench coat mafia thing, if anybody else remembers that term, yeah, that ended up being the persecution of a bunch of geeks because people thought they were terrorists. Well, no, we don't need another ad right now. We just had one. Thank you. Um, And frankly, Geek Girl, you bought the stream. Like that $10, like is more than I was making ad revenue from this anyway. So I don't need to run another ad, I guess, at all. Really. After that, but so yeah, and I am gonna. No, you know what? I'm gonna have some of this instead. It's better for me. Probably what I really want anyway. I love having premium membership. Yeah, same, same. I occasionally have tried to, watch something on somebody else's account, and the first thing that pops up instead of the thing I clicked on is an ad for something else, and oh, it aggravates the shit out of me every time. Let's see. Freedom in Truth 777 says, and this has been edited and has 16 likes. It kind of is, though. I don't know a single self-proclaimed feminist who doesn't show blatant misandry. You're speaking to one. Like that was the point of my video. I mean, engagement is engagement, so thanks for that. But what? Cracks me up. Not all misandrists are feminists, but all feminists are misandrists. Like, man, you can't just say stuff and have it be true. Again, you're literally looking at an exception to that little rule you just made for yourself there. You're right. Misandry isn't feminism. Feminism is misandry, which is, wash, repeat. The same comment as we just read, basically. No, like you're literally looking at an exception to that little rule right there. That's my point. Feminism is completely about men. Feminism is obsessed with men through its hatred of men. Right, yeah. Just like, that's what we say about MGTOWs, right? Without men, feminitism wouldn't exist. Over 200 years ago, let's see. Feminitism could not exist. He typed that twice, so one presumes he meant it. Feminitism. Whatever that is. Over 50% of babies died at birth. That means feminism couldn't exist? I don't know. That sounds like a reason for feminism. What the fuck? The vast majority of jobs were hard. Because who the hell you think birthed those dead babies, asshole? The vast majority of jobs were hard, back-breaking, miserable work. Unlike birthing labor? What the fuck? That took the lives of millions of men, and which women were incapable of doing. Oh, you mean like birthing labor? My grandfathers were Welsh coal miners. Oh, this is so good, you guys, right? This is so good. Hacking at the ground, hundreds of meters underground in the dark, and battling water tables as well as noxious gases. When the mine caved in, which was not uncommon, those men had to dig themselves out or die. And this is feminism's fault. Without coal, man would still be living in the dirt, chasing the odd deer or kangaroo, and living a meager, miserable subsistence lifestyle. Wait, did you just say that without coal, there would be no agriculture? I don't think that that's true. I think it might be the other way around, that without the invention of agriculture, we would not have eventually, industrialized the production of coal. Like, what? Women were nothing but a high cholesterol meat sandwich for a crocodile, hyena, wolf, bear, wild dog, and the list goes on. Because women don't know how to work a spear. Or, protect themselves. And I'm sorry. Good grief. There are plenty of recent examples of tigers in India killing over 400 people, mostly women and children. Like, nobody said men don't serve a purpose. Like, nobody said. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the opposite of that. I'm literally like, this is what I get for asserting that feminism doesn't hate men. Wow. No woman wanted equality with men beyond 200 years ago because it would mean certain death. What magically happened 200 years ago? Like, guns have existed longer than that. Like, I'm kind of confused here. Looking at you, you couldn't change a car tire on a modern sedan just like the vast majority of women. No, you're right. I have always traditionally relied on professionals to attach the wheels of my vehicle that goes, at high speeds for me. That's true. That's true. That's one of those like I don't do my own taxes because I've had a CPA in the family. Okay, I delegation is also a strength. I don't know. Like the hell kind of standard is that? I know there are female mechanics though. You have a privileged, self-indulgent lifestyle provided by men. Like that's not even a personal thing. I think he's just talking about civilization here. In times past, a woman's survival depended on marriage to a man with the highest resources that could be applied for her protection. Without this, women were simply food. Right. But feminism hates men. Right? Right. Right. And this is what I'm saying. Like, we need to, not be like this. Okay. If anyone, I don't think that anybody could seriously compare my personal brand of feminism with the red pill. And I like it that way. I think that that's not a great comparison. And that if anyone can seriously make it and not get laughed out of the room, that's a bad sign. Um, Hateful feminist theory has always hated relationships with men. That is the primary motivation of feminism. You could see it in the early writings of the suffragettes. None of them believed relationships with men were natural. Wow, I wonder if that had anything to do with a whole lot of ingrained, resentment. Gee, I don't know. In over 100 years of hateful and indulgent feminism, you have achieved nothing but pile on more hatred between the sexes, which you have been incredibly successful at. Me? Now it's about me? I don't know. He was talking about how I live a self-indulgent lifestyle. I think this is one of those, seriously confused between the individual and the group and attributing what to whom, is appropriate. What angers me is you could have built your own civilization and left us alone. And how exactly the fuck are we meant to do that, man? I literally gave birth to 2 men. Literally, how the fuck? What? What are you talking about? That's the problem. That's the problem. Is it no? Neither men nor women can just split off and create their own society that's going to last for more than a generation. It won't work. That's the problem. Found your own iron ore mine, smelted your own steel, built your own motor car, power plants, aircraft, developed your own technology, etc. Which is the kind of shit that takes generations to do. What? What? What are you guys saying? These dudes are hilarious. Misogyny kills. Misandry criticizes. Ooh, I'm gonna write that down too. I love it. I love it. Thank you. That's a good point. I mean, criticizes is perhaps a bit of a kind word, a gentle word, honestly, but because don't let's be pretending here that women are not capable of really just vile hatred. We are. We absolutely are because we are capable of the full range of human emotions. Right? So, no. But I do like that. He's talking about men, not women. Feminism is about women. Right. Yeah, exactly. Agricultural slowly enslaved us all. Yeah, no, yeah. More dramatic reading. CPA in the family, check your privilege. No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm admitting to it. That's hello. So basically he blames women for his male issues. Yeah, exactly.
No, women were given us property and had no choice in the matter. These keyboard warriors can't change a tire. Come on. Eating Cheetos, typing away about the 4chan rabbit holes they went down. And again, like, being able to change a tire is such a weird, random criterion to what? What is what? Not relevant. Not relevant. Objection. Relevancy. You know, like, what the fuck? About the 4chan rabbit holes they went down. Yeah, don't tell me they're self sufficient. It might help you understand male psychology if you understand that men see themselves as sexual hunters, like proud jungle cats. They pursue their female quarry through the jungles of seduction. Like, fine. No. Again, I thought I was a man for 15 years. I have journeyed fairly deeply into the masculine psyche to the extent that, like, and again, I've raised two boys, so, like, what a lot of what I didn't learn, I have. You know what I'm saying? And I don't, it's good. It's good. I'm good. I'm not saying you're wrong, though. Then, with grace and power, they pounce. Then they cling to your leg and whine for the rest of their pathetic lives. Male lions also spend most of the day sleeping. Yeah, right. No, the similarity or fighting with one another, right? Male lions have a tendency to fight with one another and like form little gangs and go out and fight with other gangs of male lions. And I'm like, I can't believe we're not more closely related to lions. Really, because all of that sounds mwah. Like maybe it's because like they're the apex of the cat family and we're the apex of the ape family, and maybe that's where similarities come from. I don't know, but yeah, the more I learn about lions, the more I'm like, yep, that all sounds pretty fucking familiar. Yep. Most are probably still living in their mother's basement, for fuck's sake. Yeah, but you know what? These days, like, that's even less of an insult because, like, what is it? 30% of people under 30 live with their parents? Like, I feel like that insult has lost a lot of its power. I'm going to be honest with you. My advice to you, my little gazelle, is run like hell. Yeah, right? Long quote and had to break it into 3 chats. Oh, it's good. It's good. What's that from? That's a quote from something? I didn't know that. That's great. Is that a song? Because that last bit rhymes. Don't go down the man rabbit hole. It only ends in genocide. Oh. I mean, no, because, okay. I am pro survival of the species. I find that to be my default setting. And I'm going to go ahead and use that word because I suppose I might be swayed. It is possible that somebody could convince me humanity doesn't deserve to survive, but being a human, I'm going to go ahead and admit to some partiality to human beings. Generally speaking, I think we ought to continue to exist. Why do I have to say that? Why isn't that the default position for most people? What the fuck is that? That's, hey, it's because the female pride don't let male lions do anything. They only let one male into the pride as a breeding stud. They don't need him breeding nothing else. Yeah, because the females do all the hunting, right? Okay, I'm gonna skip this ad too. Y'all so annoying. I mean, the male mind can be so evil that I don't really want women to know what goes through a man's head. Well, too late. If that were true, y'all need to go back in time and stop the Marquis de Sade from publishing that novel. Y'all need to stop Quentin Tarantino from making movies. Y'all need to like it's too late, okay? No. The male psyche is writ large from every facet through every form of media, okay? Like, no. Especially once you get to know what to look for and what these things are actually reflective of. First of all, a lot of this stuff starts to make a hell of a lot more sense. Because it's not like Quentin Tarantino movies are in no way representations of reality at all, right? But I've met dudes who feel that shit so deep, and I'm like, that's like gangster fantasy. You know that, right? That is what that is, right? Like, we know most women don't, but I know. Yeah. What do these men want? They want their girlfriends to change their car tires? Right? Yeah, right. Is that what they want in a woman? Like, no. Ooh, shit. This is like a 70-year-old piece of glass, and I do not want it to break. Yeah, but we're down to our last 15 minutes. Come on. We got at least one more good one in here. Let's see. We're not even done with this one. You despise the patriarchy, yet you continue to enjoy all its benefits. Clean water. Right, yeah. And then patriarchy gave us clean water. Patriarchy's the one that polluted the water in the first place, idiot. What the fuck? What the fuck is that? That's not wow. Whew. Jumping right back in the deep end here. Electric power, safe housing that protects you from all the elements, right? Because women don't know how to build houses. I know that's not true. Story time. My dad's sister is a lesbian, and she and her partner have been together since the 1970s, and they literally built both of their houses. They've had the same piece of land since before I was born, and it took them some time. But they both literally, with their own hands, built their cabin and then later their house. It took them 8 years to build that house, and I watched it happen, okay? Not going to say they never hired a contractor, but what the fuck? I know that's not true, so fuck you. Okay. While contributing nothing to the infrastructure and manufactured goods industries you rely on so heavily to live your heterosexual and man-hating lifestyle? What? Now you're just contradicting yourself. Not to say that there's no heterosexual man-haters out there, but I feel like they know that that's a living contradiction, right? Like, that's what? It is flabbergasting to me how many weak, gutless, traitorous males, simps, which is in all caps. Is that an acronym I don't know about? I thought that was a word. That's just a word. Like, I don't know. Exist out there that nod their scrawny necks at some feminine spouting lies and rubbish about the oppressive patriarchy while enjoying all of its benefits. Now that is insane freedom. What the fuck does this guy think patriarchy is? Because he's admitting that it exists, but like completely not understanding what it does. I don't. Feminism isn't about men or misandry. Then what? What is that feminism demand? What men have? Women demand the same rights that men have won. No. Oh my god. I said something somewhere about the privilege. It's not about the privileges that we have achieved inside the patriarchal system. Like, no. Excuse me. Women did not want the vote until men had it. When women demand equal opportunities, they mean access to those opportunities created by men. Women did not invent their own opportunities, nor share equal opportunities with men. Like, how exactly are you supposed to invent your own opportunities when, as a class, you were not permitted to be educated? Dipshit. Women did not want to be CEOs until men invented CEO roles. Like, again, not permitted to be educated for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Okay? Oh my god. I want to say that goes back to Hammurabi. Like, don't even. Women did not want to be movie directors until men invented the movie industry. So on with every industry, IT, banking, aviation, etc. Yeah, like, right. Women didn't want to be midwives until men decided it was worth it. No, wait, that was the other way around. Men didn't want to be midwives until women decided that it was important. And, all of medicine has slowly been taken away from women, but, that's really another story for another day. Heard any demands for women's equality in warp coil engineering? No, men haven't invented that job yet. Okay, Trekkie, calm down. The feminist ideal is men. What men do, what men have built. Okay, this goes back, like, you sound like Freud right now, and I don't mean that in a good way, okay? Penis envy is this idea that women want to be like men, but men are, have traditionally, historically, been the example of a free human being, idiot. And y'all made it that way. And we have not been given the room, the space, and now that we have the space, we have been atomized to the point that we still have not managed to figure out what our version of freedom looks like. And that's what I'm saying feminism needs to do. And this guy's not listening, you know. As long as women don't have to do the difficult bits, look at the iconic Barbie movie, which I have not seen still, you know. Feminist perfection with everything provided by Mattel, aka the patriarchy the Barbies do nothing but play. Like, and that is supposed to be like a gilded cage, in my understanding. Wow, they created clean drinking water? I know, right? Amazing. Who knew? Okay, I've been plumbing for 22 years. Women can be plumbers. Like, of course. Yeah. It's absurd. What video are these comments on? Oh, the misandry isn't feminism. This is their response to my assertion that I don't hate them. Which is just mind blowing, isn't it? Isn't that amazing? Oh, my drunk dad used to try to make me repeat men are superior to women. Oh, God. That's so sad. And now he rants about the kinds of men I've been involved with. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. Dare I say, you should avoid having conversations with that person. That other chat sounds pretty crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Got news for that guy. Men didn't want to be movie directors before men had invented the movies either. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. I love that. That's, yeah. Good point. Good point. My freedom sure doesn't look like this Western Empire, which only stands by standing on the backs of everyone else. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And women as a collective, we just don't have so much less an idea of what the fuck, like, you know, masculinity means something to them. Their masculinity, I'll say this for men, means something to them internally. Okay. What the fuck does femininity mean to us that isn't invented and adopted from outside? That word has been totally corrupted. But again, I refuse to just abandon it. No. Femininity is what women do and how women are. And that has nothing to do with long hair and makeup and high heels and any of that shit. None of it. It's amazing how feminism and Western Empire are so closely linked. Yeah, well, they've. I didn't. If you haven't seen my Is Feminism Compromise video from a few weeks ago, please go watch that. Because yeah, no, it was co-opted and corrupted a long time ago in mainstream discourse. It's really terrifying. The rules are not like this in other countries. Interesting. It means subordination and objectification. Right. That's what the Western Empire, right, yeah. And that's not what feminine freedom looks like, right? Like feminine freedom, that phrase almost doesn't even like. Have you ever heard those two words even put together like that before? I don't know that I have. I'm not. Absolutely. Feminism has been ruined by the recent movement of privileged women making up stupid reasons to hate on men while not saying a peep about the women of Iran and other misogynistic countries or making legitimate efforts to help women affected by domestic violence. Can I get my 7 replies, please? Women were put in the workplace and all of a sudden men were direct competition. It was in their collective and individual economic best interest to disparage and hurt men as a group. It's not just women being petty. There's real incentive. And I said, oh, there was. Anyway. Like that rage is not imaginary and is not some delusion that we just sort of arrive at. There was good short-term incentive. Long-term, of course, has hurt everyone. But till then, we weren't aware of the broad side effects of women slowly sowing seeds of regression among men. Like, again, this is that whole feminists are both pathetic and sad and devious and everywhere at the same time. No. That's crazy. But then, like, watch the turn this takes, okay? But the thing is, women didn't necessarily do it in bad faith. Deadbeat dads were a big thing before the last wave. Not all men, but enough men failed to hold up their end of the societal bargain. Behold the single mom crisis. They failed their dependents. We failed children as dependents, so we stopped having them because we didn't want them to suffer. We failed women, so they got out to work so they could have a redundancy to dependents. We failed our elderly, so we created retirement to lessen the burden, and it's killing our birth rate. We suck. Right? So he comes out talking about how I just like I don't know, women are slowly sowing seeds of regression among men. Like that's some interesting conspiracy theory talk there. But you know, there's a whole lot of self-hatred in there too, right? Which is just like, oh, you know, no. I mean, fuck. If I actually were a dude and came to the solid understanding that I have of a lot of the expectations and like you've said a lot of the nasty shit that goes on inside masculinity, I can kind of see why a softer guy, a guy who doesn't identify that might not want to identify with any of that, and might find all that pretty disturbing because I find a lot of that pretty disturbing. So that just seems reasonable to me. That you wouldn't, as a man, wouldn't necessarily associate yourself with a lot of masculinity. But that doesn't make you a woman. And that is a form of also more self-hatred, right? To say, oh, well, I guess if I'm a failed man. It's like, no. You're just not that kind of man. But again, masculinity is this very powerful concept to them. Like, as a woman, the idea of like, oh, I'm not living up to my feminine standard, therefore I'm a failed woman is like, A, not why I had my gender dysphoria problem, and B, like ridiculous. Like you don't ever hear about somebody taking your woman card away. Like that's not a joke even. It's so ridiculous. Women joining in on capitalism's destructive ego trip, this is neat. It's just a recent turn on the same wheel we've all been tied to for ages. This turn has even come around before, during other times of upheaval. The 14th century in Europe comes to mind. And then as things settle, we are slowly pushed back into the home because nothing actually changed. Men still can't produce their own offspring and appear to have some short circuit over that. Meanwhile, women are happy to put aside the division that hurt us, leaving ourselves vulnerable to it, apparently also forever. Each side has house cleaning needs doing, and for women, I believe this is what feminism is truly for. And he said Dev agreed. Both sides have work to do. Cheers. I'm going to go ahead and give that a like because that's nice. Thank you. I'm not here to hate on men. Like, he absolutely left the door open for me to be like, yeah, men are blah, 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 blah. And I just, no, that's not what I'm here for. I'll just say that being exposed constantly through society to modern feminism made me hate myself for being born male to the point where I was suicidal for a year. That's bad. I'm sorry to hear that. Like, I know others who have transitioned or attempted to do so as a result of this cultural malaise and misandry disguised as equality. I think to move on, the brand of feminism needs to die out completely. Here we go. It already has lost its respectability and utility to solve real problems rather than causing more, and be succeeded by a philosophy that values the worth and strengths of both men and women. Ugh. I said, I'm sorry, I have heard and seen similar. But so you would have us just give up that word too on the grounds it is too corrupted? Name me a word regarding women that isn't. And he responded, not only because it's corrupted, but because the word doesn't reflect the function well enough. Well, in a modern society where men and women are about as equal as they can be in terms of opportunity and before the law. To the point where I love how sometimes we're equal and other times, and other people are like, no, women have all the power now. And like, if I were doing research on this society, that's what you call a mixed bag. And I would have difficulty, sifting that, like collating that, like. Freedom femininity is an oxymoron. Right, but it shouldn't be. Feminine freedom should not be. Yeah, feminism is compromised. Sorry. Come on, Dane. Do the thing. Oh, gosh. It's trying to run another ad. I don't want another ad right now. Go away. Kitty saying something about objectification. Yeah, okay. That's where I left off. Well, I am a little devious. You got me, bro. Right, yeah, but like, we need to be. And I've said this before. This is part of why I'm writing a historical fiction novel as opposed to a feminist theory book. Okay? Because the full frontal assault did not work. Okay? That side of the castle is too fucking well defended. But my will is as strong as theirs, and my kingdom is as great. They have no power over me, right? And I like to think that I have a pretty good understanding of what the fuck it is I'm trying to do, you know? Like, it almost looks like femininity was invented by men, and now they're owning it and calling themselves women. When they use the social stereotypes they created themselves. Yes. That's exactly what I think happened too. Yeah. Right? Yeah. These roles probably go back to hunter-gathering societies. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say that the argument isn't as old as time. No, I don't want an ad right now. Stop it. Oh, it's after 1 o'clock. Well, anyway. There were lots of women-only clans in hunter-gatherer societies. How? How do you have a woman-only clan? Like, a clan is a family. You can't have a women-only family. Would that we could, but it's not possible. I've heard of that. I don't want to be equal to men. Men created an equal distribution of basic human rights within society. Labyrinth referencing. Based, right? Love it. Gotta love it. Her name's Sarah, too. Like, really, my childhood gave me Labyrinth and The Craft. Okay? Both of those bitches are called Sarah, so, yes. And it really does feel like that, you know. I flash back sometimes to the part where, you know, she's trying to give herself directions by writing on the stones with the lipstick, and then they're moving the shit around. Someone's been changing my mark. It's not fair. What a horrible place this is, you know? Like, who hasn't had that moment? And I feel like that's how it goes. That's how it goes, right? Everything looks like feminism to me, but that movie definitely looks, you know. And, you know, the fact that they're arguing over a child that isn't hers and he didn't earn basically makes the child symbolic. It's not her baby, you know. She's not the baby's mother, which I think is actually an important detail that should not be overlooked in the symbolic interpretation of that movie. Women only clans would interact with men sexually, but they weren't involved in the clan. Okay, and exactly what age do you send your son off to join the man clan? Okay, I don't. Just not sure how that would work. Anyway, we're running over time, and there's at least one more good one in here somewhere. Thinking about reclaiming terms. These are just my thoughts. I don't know what should be done. Okay. I mean, fair enough. So I don't need to hate on that guy. Are you related to Kirsten Shaw? No. And I wish I was as funny. What a strange compliment. It's the hair, right? Yeah. I had never got that one before, so it must be the hair. Usually I get Molly Ringwald. And then that's you, Kitty Cat, doing your bit about what Marxism is. Was there anybody said anything interesting underneath that? Marxism is a cult religion, nothing more. Wow. Right. And somebody came in and said, Marx is not a good analysis of anything but Karl's own mental afflictions. And I said, and this is why we don't get to talk about him. Let other people reach their own conclusions, thanks. Like, it just turns into a mudslinging match over people who love him and people who hate him. And the rest of us who are just trying to figure out what's going on are just kind of like, all right, whatever, I'm out again. Bye. You know, Jesus Christ. Misandry has been baked into feminism from the beginning. It was nothing but elite women demanding all women be treated better than elite men. All men could go and shite. Women deserve better than them. Bitter, jealous people that hated men and coveted status above them. Okay, that's a fun little freeform poem you wrote there. I don't know what you were basing that on. Could have fooled me with all the blatant man-hating coming from feminists. Okay. You know what? I think the best one that I'm actually thinking of is under a different how do I get to the studio? I think it might be under a different video, but it was by that same guy who said the bit about being under the floorboards. So we gotta go find it because it's good. And then we'll go. And then I gotta go. I gotta call it. Let's see. Name the word women themselves didn't corrupt, including the word woman. It was women who demanded all spaces be taken away 50 years ago. All men's spaces be taken away 50 years ago. Yeah. Because women demanded the end to all men's rooms, right? What the fuck are you talking about? So now women are crying and sad that men are invading their spaces by calling them. But you just said there are no separate spaces anymore. What are you talking about? Feminism gave us women being pummeled by men in boxing at the Paris Olympics. Good job. No. Dare I call it anti-feminism? I think that's closer than zombie feminism. It's anti-feminism. Like, what the fuck? It's like inverted feminism. Ugh. I love you, Kitty. There was a video? I just got back into town for being in the wilderness for a week, which sounds awesome, by the way. Come on. I can probably search that person, but I don't remember what his name is now. Here we go. Okay, yeah, it's under Women Exist. It's under Heresy number 1 is where this one is. You're right. There is sexual dimorphism, and you hate God for it. You despise your biological role in giving birth. That hatred of your natural function is expressed in a hatred and contempt for men because we remind you every second of your difference. You're just jealous. For some damn sick, perverted reason, women have a genetic aversion to their natural role and natural relationship with men. Oh my God. It's not as if it represents the massive chink in our armor, lest we make ourselves vulnerable to mistreatment by y'all. I can't imagine why we might have mixed feelings about something like that. I just don't get it. There is pure evil running through the feminine philosophy. It's bizarre. No, this comment is bizarre. I hate God for the sexual dimorphism that I feel like I'm sometimes the only person insisting exists and matters. Again, this was my defense of that no, sex differences matter and feminism should have a big hand in deciding what that means. Feminism should be the one speaking for us in that debate. What the fuck? Read Patriarchy and Accumulation. Maria Mies goes into this. They send male children off to defend themselves at some point. Okay. Never said it was an optimal choice to saying it existed. Anthropology and history has looked at fossilized poop of hunter-gatherer societies, finding out groups of women formed clans, kind of like a lion pride. That is really interesting. Yeah. And then the genetics show that too. The incels all died. Right. If you think that your philosophy is the right one, you want children. What the fuck? Who in the hell do you think is going to carry on your philosophy after you die? Which you will do. Because everyone does. What the fuck? Damn you, God, why must I give birth? I know, right? And it goes a lot like, I mean, I feel like men kind of hate God for the fact that they're going to die. And I don't feel like I'm not the first person to observe that. I feel like some of them have observed that. Right? Man and God are sort of locked in a lot of them. Some of them more directly than others are locked in a battle with God over whether or not they actually have to die. And they go to their grave shaking their fist at God for insisting they had to fucking die. And it's just wild shit. Man is jealous of God. Yeah. And us. Because we have, that godlike power to just sort of create whole living people with our bodies, who never existed before. You go from being one person to creating a second person, which is crazy, right? Men can't do that. Men want to be God and try to act as if this were true. Yeah, men are pretty jealous in general. Yeah, right. And this is the sort of thing that's not feminism's fucking wheelhouse. Y'all need your own, philosophy to deal with that shit. Desperately. You guys desperately need some. Okay. But that's not feminism's business. We have our own stuff to deal with. And I don't know. It's not exactly a power trip. I understand that for some women it can be, but to be responsible for an entire life that way, that is just so helpless. I don't know. Wonder if that has anything to do, and not even on a personal level, okay? Just to get a little wacky and on the edge here for a second, epigenetics, that your behavior and your habits affect the genes you pass on to the next generation. Okay. Why in the fuck wouldn't that affect behavior? Why in the fuck wouldn't that affect perception? Wouldn't that be the whole point of something like that? So that you can indirectly learn from the experiences of your ancestors, whether they got to stick around to tell you about them or not. Men made God so that you can't argue with them. Made God so you can't argue with them. Right, yeah. That's why they were trying to figure out how to implant working wombs into men. Good luck, boys. Yeah, right? Right? Good luck with that. Y'all don't want that. No, but women aren't allowed to have anything, which just is like, it's a terrible insecurity. It's like that bully at school who takes everything cool you ever brought. You can't bring any of your nice stuff to school because the bully will take it. It's like that. And then it's like they turn around and try and tell you you're embarrassed. You don't want to show people your things. It's like, no, I just don't want you to fucking take it from me. My theory is that men transition out of jealousy or homophobia of women, and women transition because of the jealousy men had over them. Yeah. It's like they do it for different reasons. Which that right there is such a clue. The fact that guys tend to do it later and girls tend to do it earlier, right around puberty, is so telling. Anyway, I guess that was it, really, for all the most amazing comments. A couple of those were really choice, though, right? A couple of those are really amazing. The insult to trans pipeline is apparently real. Transmaxing is a legit thing. And I say that in that it is a fairly well developed and codified thing. I saw a video. Somebody was that DC Isaac? Was she the one who did the reading through the Transmaxing Manifesto, which is like period prom time? Yeah. I don't want to play it on here though. It might be copyrighted, and God knows I don't need help getting demonetized or limited monetization anyway. I haven't had anything be demonetized yet, you know. And I figure as long as they don't get too graphic or overtly political, you know. Oh, the period poem is something she's been trying to get me to listen to for at least a month. Because apparently it's awesome, you know. And I need to wise up and listen to the recommendations of people who I like, you know, who I trust or whatever. But like, oh boy, I just opened my phone for no reason, and there's a picture of Richard Nixon because I forgot that I was looking. I'm like, what? Why not read it? No. I know. Because I keep forgetting. Because I literally get off here and I, you know, pivot immediately to whatever the next thing I'm trying to do is. So, especially lately. So next week, let's tell you guys this now before I go. Next week, I'm looking at hopefully a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday video, and then a live at noon every day. I just don't think I can do 5 videos a week, you guys. I just don't think I can do it. If only because, like, last night, it rained. And I don't have a quiet, waterproof place to film. So, watch it performed by her. Okay, cool. Will do. All right. You know what I was watching this morning? That lady, Lena. Ah, crap. The head of the FTC. Love her. Wow, how amazing. She's a slam poet. It's part of the experience. Gotcha. I don't remember her last name. Damn it. But I was watching something about her this morning. And apparently she's going after big business on the part of like ordinary working people, you know, like bullshit fees from airlines and like just all kinds of stuff. And it's amazing. I will put it in the community tab. I was going to do that, but I was watching it right before I jumped on here and I kind of ran out of time. So I will post that in the community tab if you guys are interested in that video because she is awesome. So, yeah, we went over by almost half an hour, you guys. So I'm going to go. And I will see you guys on Monday. Okay. 11 o'clock for a video and then noon for the live stream. Have a nice weekend, everybody. I'll see you later. Thanks so much for the support. Sincerely. I love you guys. Yes, please. Now, if only there was more time. Yeah, right. Have a good weekend, guys. See you later.